Hey guys, welcome back to the Vid-Bits. It's Brian. I'm here with a late night pack snack. Just one, just a pack snack. It's been a long day, so I figure I unwind with a little bit of fun before I go to sleep. And I hope that you're enjoying your day, or you enjoyed your evening, or you're getting ready for a good tomorrow. Alright guys, let's go. So let's just see where we're at to start off. We are 5th right now. So definitely making sure it's not like letting you see, there we are, 5th. Kofi YT made some moves today. Shiba Inu, a little bit. But then globally, we are 9th. So we moved a bit. We're not bumped out of the top 10, but we're close. So we have to make some moves. But also, we are the best player in the United States Eastern Division on the PlayStation. So I'm very thankful and blessed for that, and appreciate you guys rooting along as we continue with that. And as far as globally goes, even though we're ranked 9th, we are technically the 3rd best PlayStation player, so I'm very proud of that. So, like I said, race to number 1. Let's go. Can't give up regardless of somebody making huge moves today. Shout outs to you. You know who you are. You made huge moves today. The huge moves, I mean, I get it. I know the math. I know how much time you put in. And I'm very proud of you for doing that. It's a sacrifice we're making to try to be on the top of a video game leaderboard. So I know people around me know the time I'm putting in. So I respect it. Very much respect for you to get 75 dubs today. And again, you know who you are. I'm not going to spend too much time mentioning your name because you know who you are. You know what I mean? If you want to DM me, we can talk about it, strats, and linking up to do some content in the future or something. But I know that you guys that are on the top that are ahead of me are really good Pac-Man players, and I respect you all. But I do want you to know for sure that I'm going to do my best to show out, and if you guys win this season, cool. If there's seasons, cool. But if there's not seasons, I'm going to keep putting in the grind to at least take the number 1 spot for a while. I mean, even in the classic arcade games, people don't hold them forever. Like, even if you disqualify Mitchell, or whether you do or you don't, he was eclipsed by Lakeman. So there's reasons for you to still aspire to be number 1, even if it's more than once. But if there's seasons, then you guys are gonna have to keep up, because luckily this game does have it, so you have to be good at Pac-Man. I mean, you can't just win games. I see some people here, and I'm not calling anybody out, but you guys have a very big win record, but you have a very low rating. So that means statistically there's got to be the best person that's mid-range in skill that has the highest rating, because he still wins a lot of games. But does that mean that you're getting 32nd place a lot, lower 20s? Just let me know. I just want to know. I mean, I haven't looked at anybody else's tech. I haven't watched a single other person's full game. I don't know how other people play. I literally have done a first impressions video for our channel, and that's live. And then you can see that. And then after I played it extensively, because first impressions for us is to make sure we play as extensively as we can. So if we give a first impression, it's not just based on all of a sudden the game mechanic that we don't like or whatever. It's you really give it a good try. But since it was Pac-Man, I knew I was gonna do it all up. So once I got through and did tutorial first and then elimination, once we got into ranked, I wasn't even sure if I was gonna play ranked. So you can even go back and listen to me talk, and I say ranked, I'm not sure, because I wasn't sure how it was gonna work. But now that I put in the time, I didn't get early access, and I'm still putting in the time. I pray that basically Bandai Namco makes it the seasons, and if anything else, they add the powers that were in the Google Stadia version that were omitted, and I don't have to stress about being on an even playing field with you guys. I don't think they would have a permanent leaderboard that was sunk into it based with the people that got early access, got to be 7 days ahead of the leaderboard, unless that was literally a perk that was said that it was given with that. I'd never heard anything about that personally, but again, I didn't do any research about this game until that ping that they did when they did the showcase about it, or whatever, when they did the announcement trailer. I didn't know that this game came out for Google Stadia because I didn't have Google Stadia. And I played Pac-Man for 20 years and bought an Xbox 360 just to play Championship Edition. So it's like crazy that this game kind of slept. I slept on it so much. But like, it's one of those situations where I'm gonna put the time in because I'm a Pac-Man fan. And so why would I spend time now obsessively trying to get 100K consistently on my arcade 1-up machine on an original Pac-Man and Pac-Man games now when I'm competing against people live for history's sake? I mean, being number one, and especially if it's at the end of a season, doesn't that mean a lot, considering the fact that it'll be locked in? I'm just happy to be a part of the conversation, because even at the end of the day, and if I don't get number one, I'm still going to be up there, and it's going to be like one of those things that when I talk to people that I talked to a long time ago that said I was going to do something cool, you know, we're playing Pac-Man and trying to do something cool. But if you're I guess I'm on a tangent, but my point is, if you're cheating to get up there, I'm wondering, because like there's a side bet thing with the sidebar when in between screens that says if you think somebody's cheating, report them. I haven't reported or blocked any of you guys yet because I haven't faced anybody that's big time one-on-one. I did a couple days ago. Ryan Sill he's like a low ranked, and me and him had a night where he pretty much whipped my butt more than I whipped his butt, but it kind of reminded me like an old school wrestling match. I was mad at him. I was pretty sure I was gonna block him. And I was like, nah, that doesn't do anything. Like, blocking somebody doesn't do nothing, because at the end of the day, if they're a high ranker, are you trying to disqualify yourself from ever playing against them in a higher tiered tournament or whatever setting? And then you're really gonna block them because you're not better than them? How are you gonna ever learn how to be better than them if you just block them and you don't play against them a bunch? Like in my case, I'm streaming, so if I play against them, I can go back and look at the tech and watch our gameplay and be like, okay, this guy is a guy that when I see him, he will always have stored this specific power-up, and he will basically always be able to daze me because he almost always has dazers when we get in. So when we reset the maze, he's going to do the move where he dazes first, and he's going to hit the Energizer and hit me. You probably will be shitting on me right now, like, you're telling your tech? Man, look at the 80s and how much records got gate kept only because people kept their fucking mouth shut. I get so tired of that shit. It's so foul. It doesn't promote gaming culture. It's a gatekeeping thing and something that's supposed to be a fun hobby, and it makes me sick. So, like, that's the whole point of what we're doing here, too. Like, especially Namco, like, I love you guys. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait to shake hands with people that have worked on these games and worked on the shit that I've loved my whole life. And, like, you know, if I get to have the picture like Mitchell had, I'm not going to try to have a douchey pose that stands in everybody's mind for the rest of the time. I want people to realize it's not a thumbs up like, man, I'm the best player in the world. It's like, thumbs up, and the Vid-Bits are happy to represent a culture that creates great products and good mindset like you, because there's a subset of culture that sees games like this as toxic. It's weird. I just read an article about it where somebody said that Battle Royales being merged with classic arcade games is toxic to the culture and ruins old brands. You guys are fucking disgusting. I mean, what's going on? Like, I mean, what does that do? What does that do for the sales of this game? What does that do for the sales of future games? But one of the main articles that I read today, and I'm not name-checking articles, we do research here at the Vid-Bits. We spend time. In anybody that puts an article up, it doesn't mean it's credible, but it's another article that's out there that I can cite, and it doesn't mean it's credible when it's a mainstream article either. So when they're saying they have no credibility, maybe some of you guys don't either, so I'm not stressed about that. All I'm saying is it's out there from a more mainstream publication, and it says something to the extent of that. Like, it's ruining these things, it's ruining these experiences, it's devaluing these brands. And also, they were angry because it had a $20 price point, which I've described before, which I think, you know, prohibits casuals from jumping in here. They claim of glitches. I don't see these glitches, and I can't wait to do a very detailed video on everything that happens to this game. Because at the end of the day, when this game's done or sunsetted, or when my time trying to stay on the top of the leaderboard and I'm just playing as a casual, because I eventually will let somebody mess around and take the throne, I'll always be up there. But until I want it back, I'll let people have it situation comes up. I'm going to make sure that I have like a great, you know, open and shut case of like a game like this and how it affected my life. It'd probably be something akin to, like, you know, when you basically see, like, remember this thing, and then they talk all about it in the whole history. I'll have shown you every mechanic through so many hundreds of matches of being taped of how this game ran and stuff. And it's not, I guess the point is, people are like, well, that's so niche and so stupid, it'll be shut down. Well, if anything else, it's a classic arcade game that they were able to marry with a concept that's so modern, and it works well and it works correctly. As long as you're not super laggy, maybe your system's not chugged down with so much data that it's bogging. The cross-platform aspect may have a little things to do with lag and stuff in certain situations, but me personally, you can watch my games and you don't see it. I don't see it. And the couple times that I thought that I either died or killed somebody unfairly and I go back and look at it, I can actually justify why it happened because it's weird other circumstances, like I got caught in a door and then it spits you back to where you start. And I'll explain all of that stuff. And there's people that will know it, and those people will be like, well, no, duh, but there's other people that won't know it, and they'll be happy that it's out there. You know what I mean? And go ahead and you can even do whatever you want to say and say whatever you want, but like we're time stamping legacy and screaming this every day. I'm every day until I'm on top. I'm just trying to not have to have super long 15-hour marathon sessions to get it. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where, but I have seen people in the past and I've never understood why they do it, and they do it. There's actually an episode of Workaholics which is hilarious, which is about that. He's trying to get a claudograph. He's trying to get an autograph from Jean-Claude Van Damme so that he can, like, you know, I can't remember if it's, I think it's Blake is trying to get this autograph from Jean-Claude Van Damme so that, you know, because he wants it. And like, but it's like, it's, I don't know, it's, because it's him, it's a claudograph. So he's got a framed picture and he's already ready to get this autograph, and he's already telling people why he's going to get it. He's going to meet him at something because he's going to be #1 in a game on like PlayStation 3 Move or some shit. It's hilarious. So like he's doing it, right? He's doing the damn thing where everybody keeps seeing him all throughout the episode and throughout the course of a couple of days, and he's freaking out because all he can do is like do his normal shit. He's still got to go to work, and I go to work. He's still got to eat, sleep, and breathe, and I'm doing those things too. But he's still also got to find a way to play this game so he can't let other people like top the leaderboard on him, because in this case he wants the autograph. Well, in my case, I want to be #1 at something in the world, and I want to be able to talk about it someday. And for me, if it gets to be Pac-Man, it gets to be Pac-Man. I think that when they have competitive leaderboards in games, it's awesome. And it's amazing though, like on the Switch, there's a lot of games that are slept on. I can't wait till you see some of our arcade archive stuff that Hamster puts up that we're gonna start doing. It's just not gonna happen anytime soon now because I have something else going on. Like, this wasn't really supposed to happen. First Impressions is literally one of those things that we're supposed to do that, and then literally, unless there's just supposed, I keep saying literally. If there's somebody that's interested in it, then we do it, and then if not, then we just kind of move on. Especially if I'm like interested in it, and it's one of those things where I can't believe that it happened to be Pac-Man and it was more interesting than just one round. Like, especially if you do like Championship Edition, you do each of the time trials once. You decide, okay, I want to spin through and get all the achievements, and then you're kind of done with it. I think a game like Championship Edition then gets more deep because then you have the sub goals, like each individual mode is its own arcade game. So I obsessed about it. And when you take a building block like Championship Edition and a game like Pac-Mania, also with the baser games like Miss Pac-Man, Pac-Man, and then maybe even what is it called? Super Pac-Man, because of the super speed aspect of it, and you combine all of those things together. Maybe even if you put Pac-and-Pal in there too, because of the traveling aspect. It's one of those situations where it's a no-brainer that you can get really good if you are really good at all of those building blocks as far as Pac-Man games go. I would love to be in a situation where I could talk to them, you know, them being Bandai Namco, it's late, sorry, about the games and the fact that, you know, how they've influenced each other as far as I've seen, and how their gameplay is built on each other to any of the original team, or people that have been influenced by the original team that have made this game, you know, even through a translator or whatever. We'd love to talk to you guys. We'd love to put that on our channel just for us, or I'd love just to have it personally. I don't have to record it at all. I just like to have that moment where I could say thank you, because really, if you don't obsess about Pac-Man and almost all things Pac-Man, you don't get to a level where you can be really good at this specific game, because it merges all of those together. The maze changing aspect, the power up floating aspect, the being able to string power up aspect. The only reason why you don't get more than 1,600 points when you eat 4 ghosts in a row is because it'd be OP and they wouldn't be able to keep their score structure the way that it is. They would break their own scoring tier. So ooh. Usually don't stay this long in somebody else's maze, and being in a pincher situation where he didn't have a power up, he was pretty much forced to deal with that. And I've discussed it before, especially late night, probably not good for me to be picking up the speed power up because it's so unpredictable as far as like if you like to rail, which is basically come up and over a curve and make sure that you're hugging the wall, that you won't be able to also get like the little bit assist or the little bit extra that you would get from that. You have to know what I'm talking about. You have to. One of our viewers, Mr. Know-It-All, was talking about it yesterday. Actually, no, yeah, it was actually the last. You'll have to check it out. We were talking about the last pack snack. We were talking about using a joystick, and it's not against the rules. So you may be a player that's playing this game that think I would be a better player if I had a joystick, and there's a chance that you would be. I don't know per se what the advantages would be though, because you would also have to rely on a button to press that's very reliable, because banking and holding all of your stuff is very vital in this game, especially the timing of when you do it. Oh no, okay. Whew. Especially the timing of when you do it. So it's like, what if you're not careful with that, then you're slapping a big candy button and it's not going to be an actuate as quick as like on the PlayStation button, or like I guess it's on the Switch too. I don't know if I would play it on the Switch. I love the Switch. I freaking love the Switch. Bam, I'm gonna do the move. The Pack Inquisition. It's where you take one in the corner, you smack, and you take the other two, and then you say, "Hey, Tamefoot, I hope that you're really good at like just surviving and eating ghosts." Ooh. Oh. If you're not really good at eating ghosts, don't do that. If you're not really good at eating ghosts, but like going through and surviving through mazes like this where you don't have any energizers, don't do that. Because you're going to be so at a disadvantage if you can't navigate it. It's really also in a situation where you want to be clean with your lines. You want to have very clean lanes. You want to make sure that you're able to, if you get, especially in your home base, and there's a chance that you get knocked back there, there's sometimes in a larger field, you're not sure if anybody's even going to go in there too. So if you leave it all sloppy, like say you junk it real quick and eat all the energizers and leave, which I call pretty much strip mining, especially if you jumble it up a little bit, and then you go back to your own home maze, then you're finding yourself bad off, right? So if you do that to somebody else, especially like when you can go to all the different corners, you can literally go in and wipe out possibly the Energizer, the first one they're going to come to, and the first thing they're going to see, especially if you Sparkster over there, is you just sitting there waiting for them, and they're not going to be able to take it. They're going to turn back around into the ghosts that are chasing them, especially if they trained up to it. And I'll say this, if there's, with a bot situation, I just don't care. At the end of the day, the cream rises to the top, and all the people that are up there really competing aren't bots. So I'm worried about the tournaments where I get to face those guys and really show off a bit about all of us being able to face against each other and not have to worry about that. This is like, I don't know. There's the tournaments, right? There's the tournaments in the movies where there's the little characters that you see that they don't even really say their name, and the first person that you're introduced to as a character comes up, and they get into frame, and the guy comes in and he just kicks his flipping head off. That's a bot. So they happen in movies too. It's part of the story. But when it comes down to it, the people that are really up there aren't bots. All the people on the leaderboards aren't bots. Bots aren't putting up scores and leaderboards and stuff. Like, it's absurd. I've faced off against some really good people. But also, if those really good people happen to make mistakes and get greedy during the course of the game, and the bot's plan is basically a great AI player, then I'm still playing against a good pack game anyways. I'm playing against a Pac-Man game too, so maybe part of the aspect that the bots are still also pack people too feeds into like a more advanced, having the ghosts against you and other people against you too that can make more sporadic moves than a normal person wouldn't do. I'll definitely tell you, I've seen them make some sporadic moves. I saw one, I got energized and I ran after him, and I don't think it was a bot, but it might have been, and he just, I turned around and he did look at me, and he still ran towards me, and I was energized and he wasn't. He just died, and he gave me the game. I think it's just nuts. If he didn't give me the game, he definitely gave me the game, as far as like I was not gonna be screwed if I kept a very safe game for the rest of it. I just thought, why did you do that? But thank you type situation. Ooh, I was dumb there. I should not have kept chasing that. So dumb. There you go, grabbing that again. Definitely apologize if I came out across a little bit angry earlier about, people spoofing and stuff like that. I don't know. I got too far down the rabbit hole on the internet and read too much about it. And cause I told Bray I wasn't going to really read anything about it, and started reading stuff, and you know how the internet is, man. They like to bring you down. It's just like, yep, even if I am facing against bots in some of those cases at the end, there are real players that just could have died all the way up towards the end, or just aren't getting as far as I am, because I can get 100,000 points on Pac-Man. Like I can get more than that. And most people, unless you learn the patterns, can't. So the Ghost AI does still adapt, and these new, the AI that will be represented or whatever, like that guy's a real guy. I just don't want to go over there and press him. Like what? So what does that get me? Like, so is the whole thing like, oh, you have a record because you didn't press a bunch of people? I don't think that that's the case. I just don't want to, that guy. That's not a guy. I guess that's a bot. Villain paper. Oh, that was dumb. I don't even know why I did that. So I had to just tell myself, in order to not be sad about it, if that's the case, where because of the division I'm in and how many people, aren't in the league to get to the end with me, then I guess I am just already the best in the area, and I don't want to be mean, but I said that. I've told people from a long time that I was the best, one of the best people playing this game in this area. I mean, I know there's better Pac-Man people in my area, though they just aren't playing some of the games I'm playing. I also think that there's a chance that, and people are saying it's bots, that there's a chance that maybe it's an AI generated name that's not just, your name if you don't want to pick the name. I don't know, but it does seem like what they're saying makes sense. It's basically it's just a generic name capitalized with like a generic something else, like old toy, Siam boat. I don't know. You see it, so I mean, what am I supposed to say about it? It's just now I have to adapt my brain around it and realize that I'm still just playing this as a game, trying to get #1, really, and I'm still happy doing that. So I still love playing Pac-Man. That's all I'm focusing on. I'm staying in my lane. It's the toxicity that would have like old me. I would have been like, I guess I give up. Nope, I still am not giving up. Because at the end of the day, when you look at the leaderboards, the people that are on the leaderboards are real people. They're not AI bots playing it. It made me mad. I got mad. I've had a little frustrating day because I got too far on the internet and read too much stuff. So I guess the lesson learned is, don't get on the internet and read too much stuff about something that you love. Just keep doing what you're doing. Stay in your lane. I guess in an informative way, you can still read stuff about it. But like, if you're trying to be like, I don't know. I'm not saying don't seek knowledge, but be careful how you seek it. Be careful. Like my name, of our account is the Vid-Bits, right? Me and Bray go by this thing that looks it looks branded. Well, because we're YouTubers. But also, if you look at that, I guess somebody could be like, that looks like a bot, But they, if they didn't know the schematic, they could just think that they were playing against real people. And as we approach the 250th win here, I know I've, had my fair share of victories against bots, and I just like to think it's because I'm ramping the difficulty up real quick and winning the matches, and then they have so many lives that whoever's left is just not going to be able to get there, and they, especially with the speed of the maps ramping up, that they just end the match or whatever, or they disconnect. But it is what it is, and I'm happy to still be representing this game on online play and trying to not be too, I dropped a little bit of vulgarity here, and this is the first time I did, because this is just a separate deal, and I mean, I can always edit it out if it's long-term longevity, but I just am passionate. I'm very passionate. I try not to be super, I too be super selective what I say, but when I say it, I try not to have to spend more time retracting it, because I usually try to be so, educated with saying the things I'm going to say, that I don't have to worry about wiping them up if they're wrong. But you can be wrong, so I love the feeling that this game makes me have, as far as like being able to go online and play Pac-Man, and if it's ranked and it says it's a 64 player battle royale, I'm hoping that the majority of those people are real people. And if they're not, it's still 64 people trying to win, and there's a chance that that game is won by an AI, right? Like, I don't win if the AI would win, right? I don't know. I'm still playing it at the highest level. We're still ranking up. That's all our goal has been. Besides repping the brand, repping the Vid-Bits, repping Pac-Man, and chomping our way to 250 victories coming up here, and two more, so I guess I'll keep saying it. It just all comes down to when we face each other. You know what I mean, guys? Like, I'm not calling you out yet because I don't. It's not fair, because you guys are great, and I don't know how great you are, and I could just get my butt wiped. You just wipe. It could be butt wipe time for me. You know, I'm just joking. Oh my god, I'm just losing it. So just be like, come at me, bro. 2 more wins though, and we'll be at 250. Just trying not to do the super long streams to catch up to the other people. And like I said, I just really hope that when it comes down to it, that we, get to reset the season, so I don't have to worry about doing crazy 12-hour streams to catch up. Because once I catch up, guys, I'll be like, I'll be happy. But I didn't do any research on the Google Stadia version until today, and I found out that they had 4 more powers than this game has, which is crazy. So you can actually lock and unlock the doors with stuff like before the timer goes out, so that's just crazy. See, it says if I wasn't so worried about protecting my freaking streak, I would just go around and just look at about 2 or 3 of theirs. See, Rough Planet, Open Chance. What's this guy's name? You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like everybody that's playing in my server right now is a freaking... That guy probably wasn't next to me. And if that's the case, again, I think it's okay, because there's still decent AI in some of them. I mean, but then again, if they're being AI, they're gonna be also manipulated with how I'm moving around too. So even if they're programmed to be really good, they're gonna do the same thing a real person would do and make mistakes based on somebody else coming in there. That's the 3rd one. Birdie Bedroll. I'm like feeling poopy, and it makes me feel a little poopy. This is the last thing I'll say about the bot thing. I just gotta just say it and I'll let it go. At least I know now whether or not to take them super seriously or not. I don't know. I just didn't feel like I was seeing a lot of them when I was playing. So I hope that it's like, I don't know. It doesn't bother me because the AI level is pretty decent, and I'm thankful for that. So. Missed everybody. Yeah, I know I've seen Cozy Panorama. So it's just like, that's not, I'd like to think that that's a real person and they just didn't know what to pick, but everybody has the weird thing where it's a color and a thing, so, or
Hey Skippy, what's going on, buddy? It's just me hanging out right now, just doing a little bit of grinding on the Pac-Man. That's the new jam, man. I'm doing some crazy conquest, trying to put our freaking crew up on the top of the world in the leaderboards. I'm doing a pretty damn good job of it on some Pac-Man. Like I was like, how can I put the Vid-Bits on top? And then like it wasn't even like, I don't know. You have to watch the first impressions video, and it went from there, man. This all snowballed naturally. Like I didn't plan any of this. It kind of planned itself, and we're gonna do it, and then we'll have it in the history books. We'll have the Vid-Bits up there. You really motivated us with all those donos and everything this month, and just I don't know. Me and Braden have been on fire to just get a lot of stuff going for you, and not just for you, but I mean, just you motivated us, man. You made it seem like we were on top of the world, bud. So, like, you really helped like launch the brand as far as like getting more people out there, and even if they're not members that are engaging in the content, they're still make our membership count, higher, and it makes it look more attractive to other people at least, because we know how awesome everything is. But hopefully the people that you gifted those donos to or gifted those memberships to had at least checked out some of the content since they were subscribed. So I hope they maybe they at least think about rolling over the next month, which I guess is the whole point of donations. Which, if that happens, then everything that you did was even more of a windfall. Not that it was not appreciated to the highest degree, man. Me and Braden are just so thankful, especially when we're starting to get to see some results out of some of the stuff we're doing. And it's just awesome to be able to be full-time creators. And I mean, we're full-time creators because he's being able to be in the studio when I'm at my shoot job, and it's just a great mix of keeping things coming for you guys. And Skippy, we call you not just because you are the only person on the completely unnecessary tier, but we made sure to call you out on almost every video we possibly do, because that's just such a crazy thing. We never thought that anybody would do that. Like, we thought that's why it's called completely unnecessary. So and if I can't read you right now, I'm just looking at the game because I gotta look at it in between rounds and stuff. But it's just really cool to it's been a while, so yeah, it's been crazy. Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb too. Alright. I know so many Pac-Man streams, missed them all because I've been so busy, dude. No worries, man. No worries. Glad I could help, really, but sorry I missed all the streams. Had a college get promoted to a different rank, so none our first team. I appreciate that, though, that you're putting in the time, too. So salute and respect, man, and it's especially when you have to choose to balance it, and it's understandable. Know-It-All was in recently, and he was saying the same thing. I hadn't seen him in a while, and he said the same thing, that he's just putting in the time, and life hits us in different ways and stuff. And it's really cool, though, that to see you and stuff, and I appreciate it. I understand, and no worries, no hurries. Just throw those streams on the background sometime. You know, you know the deal. At least they're not. I mean, a lot of it's just waxing philosophical or talking tech about this game. A combination of both. Some of it a little manic and stuff based on me being, me being me and being passionate and raw at times. A little bit hungry, a little bit tired, depending on when it is. But I'm unapologetically me unless I'm offending somebody to the point where, like, it's really, really bad, and then we can sit down and talk about it because we're adults and we have a difference of opinion. But I don't know how other people will feel about it sometimes. I hope that I didn't overextend myself on this journey, and at 250, it's almost like, I don't know. I compare it to something like that Jimmy does. I just saw he had somebody locked in a grocery store for a long period of time, and he's making somebody feel kind of the way that I feel sometimes when I'm playing this game. I'm not doing it like he was, though. You can look and see the timestamps when I'm doing it, and it's at different chunks, and there's been time, like, the only reason why I may be fatigued is because I do a lot of other stuff, and I have to try to fit it in if I want to compete. I'm just a dad trying to, like, do it in real time and trying to fit life in around it, and there's other people that can just dedicate to doing it full time. So that's what eventually the goal is too, with the channel and people like you helping out makes it so easy for me to see a future where it's possible, and I'm thankful for that too. So it's really cool and motivating to see you during this pack snack, which is pretty much how we're branding a 90-minute episode of this, or like if I do multiple 90-minute episodes in this in a row, then I call it a snack pack, so you can, like, kind of look at it in that perspective. But those first couple big streams were just getting me competitive in the field, just getting me up there where I'm in the conversation in our division, the United States Eastern Division of this game, because I guess there's a lot, and depending on what time of day you play, there's more bots than there would be normal times, but the people that are in the leaderboards are all real people grinding these games, so I'm still competing against those people, so I have to look at it like that. And if other people want to try to, like, I've had people try to derail me, I guess, a little bit about it. I've talked to some people, or not talked to some people, I read some stuff on the internet that was talking about it, and I got kind of sentimental about it at the beginning of the stream, and I apologize for that. You won't hear any more about that. I guess, maybe it's my way of addressing it before somebody's like, man, you just beat a bunch of bots for hundreds of matches and it's lame, and that's fine, you can think that, but I'll look at it as I get to show you at least my Pac-Man skills and stuff for all these hundreds of matches too, and still rank up on the leaderboards where I'm going to face real people eventually, hopefully. These other real people doing the same thing, we'll see who's, what's up. I'm assuming that that's the whole point too, really. Because I have faced real people, and I have faced a lot of them. It just depends on what time of day it is, and I'm in the Eastern United States Division server, and I haven't switched servers. I guess I could start server hopping, but I'm not going to really do that. I'm going to stay the course. I'm where I'm supposed to be for a reason, and if it's cheap, I guess it's cheap. I'm not spoofing or anything. I see people that have a high score or whatever, and they literally have probably placed in very, I don't know, low 30s and stuff, and a lot, and they have like hundreds and hundreds more wins than the person that has a higher rating game than them. So it really just depends on how many times you really win, and at the end of the day we'll be able to, like, count down and look and catalog how many times I won against anybody that was on the field. Also, if a lot of people that are good die right away, it doesn't mean that they have to keep filling the spots. So what it is if I'm facing a lot of bots at the end, it's because all the real people died in the beginning. Like, in a situation like that, I died, but all the people that were left were just bots to fill out the game because all the other real people died. Like, I can't do anything about that. I mean, Pac-Man's a hard game, and I think that's another thing that people aren't taking into consideration, and it's crazy. Again, I'm sorry it's late, and I won't say that was the final point about that. And maybe I think that's what maybe this pack snack is, and kind of the sub theme is me talking about the bots issue, so I can get closure on it, and then start my next stream about this in a fresher perspective. And
you know, the aspect that I'm facing other people on the leaderboards, and that's how these other games have been. Like we have arcade one-up machines, and we know that the people that are on that scoreboard are other real people, and we're ranking up on those. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. I just have not been calling out these people's names because I don't want to either give them too much attention if they don't need it, or I don't know any of them, so I don't want to do that like that. But I am showing the board because I want them to see. I want everybody to see. You know what I mean? It's also crazy because everybody gets to see the legendary board on this stream, or the legendary win, hopefully on this stream of the 256 is the glitch board in Pac-Man. So we're gonna get wins on 254, 5, and 6 probably before it's all said and done this stream,
which is pretty cool.
I think it definitely matters what time of day you play. I mean, and what server you're on, and what time you play. So if I play in an early AM socket like this, I've never played against a field like this. I do feel like I'm playing predominantly against AI computers, and I haven't done that really. Like they can't even get to the end. I don't know. It is funny. In a way. I don't care. I really don't. It's funny. I thought I would, and I don't. See, like, they should have killed me there. Now I'm like, why didn't you do that? I don't know. It's fine. It's possibly also how highly ranked I am, and it makes it so they don't let me play with other players, so I don't know. Again, I'm sorry I keep bringing it up. Let's just enjoy this. 256th screen. As far as wins go, mazes go on this. But either way, Skippy, you hanging out and stuff, just so you know, all being the completely unnecessary tier member that you can tell people that you're supporting a channel where the motivation drove us to do stuff like this, at least if we're on these leaderboards for a little bit. It's pretty cool. And, you kind of motivated stuff like that, so, like, we told everybody kind of doing feats and stuff. The game's not, it's only been out since the first or second this month. It came out early access, and then we didn't have access to it until like the 9th. So, but there's gonna be, I think, seasonal content. We're just trying to keep the Vid-Bits on top there. Be able to rep the brand. I can tell what it just seems like it's quiet. Like, I don't know. Like, the person's name that was in the lead would just rotate a lot, but then it seems like now, as soon as the game starts, I'm just like in the lead. And I don't know if that just happens to be because I'm a Chomp champ or it's weird. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. It just makes it look like I'm a super, I don't know. It's weird. I keep trying not to talk about it, and I can't talking about it. But again, the main point is don't let the internet affect you to this degree. Because if I would have left it alone, I would have just been looking at the game from one way, and now I'm looking at it from a different way, and I still don't care because I love playing Pac-Man. And I'm happy about that. But I'm just like, wow, what a weird thing to be playing against some of these AIs that's supposed to be people, and they just sometimes they do some really great moves and sometimes they do some dumbass things. I guess, we can find a way to make this work. We'll just lampoon the crap out of it. Like, that's definitely not ripping on guys that made it at all. It's just the fact that, look at what Dizzy Sun's over there doing. He's being a dumbass. He's not doing anything productive to help. Watch him run right into me probably, because he doesn't know that I have an Energizer or something stupid. Oh look, we got Smelly Magnet. Who comes up with that shit? Oh, and I died. That should be it, right? 3rd place. There we go. I didn't get 1st place, which is fine. I don't care about that. I really don't care about that. It's just weird to me. Is anybody else even allowed to take the leaderboard? No. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like it. I just feel like it's probably because of what time I'm playing. But I feel like, I don't know, it makes it seem like I can't do bad stuffs in the game. See, like, both of those aren't real people.
Let's just see something real quick.
No, let's... Let's just stay the course for this stream, and then we'll see, based on the time that I do the next one, how things are.
Or I'll start looking around a little bit at it. That's just crazy. That's just crazy to me.
If you're sticking around after the 90-minute mark, that means we are still hungry and we figure out our manners. So we're going to look and see what we need to do. We need one more win to get to 260, which is what the number is I want to stop at for this session, pardon me. So we're just going to do one more game and call it a session. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Sorry it was a little ranty. I promise the ones coming up in the future will be more cool and more chill. Hopefully we'll get some people in chat that will generate some good conversation topics and stuff, and we can keep it light. Again, after finding out unfortunately this stuff about the bots today, I had to be transparent about it and how I felt about it, because I just was in the dark about it. So it's almost like this session here is kind of a little wild, a little crazy, maybe being a little bit out of control. So here, in the still hungry, part, I'm just letting you know, I forgot my manners today. So, I apologize a little bit, and I said I'm unapologetically me, but I just was a little ranty and a little angry about it, because I know there'll be people that will then undersell the accomplishment of getting on a leaderboard to a game that has that situation going on. But I digress, because at the end of the day, there still is real people going around in the mazes, depending on where you're at, and also, the top, when the people in the leaderboards at the top have to face each other, hopefully eventually, and that will be an interesting conflict. So I can't wait to see all that stuff. Hope that you enjoyed some of the gameplay. I think we did pretty good. I'll do a recap after this and then we'll call it. So hopefully this last one, it depends on, it reloaded and everything, so maybe that has to do with it, but if not, it could just be because of my area. I'm in the eastern United States and people are still sleeping and still not doing gaming stuff, just because it's the best time they can fit it in their schedule. So I super digress. Yeah, why am I first going right off the rip? I just hope that this is just some sort of something that's patch related or something. I'll just let it go. So this episode, this packed snack is not gonna, it will be the last time we talk about it obsessively, unless literally someone would have to bring it up in chat and want to talk about it. I'm just gonna be happy that I'm playing a game where every single time I still have, dude, I'm just telling you, just play this Pac-Man game as it is, and you still have to play Pac-Man well to get to the end. So I think that unfortunately the people that are complaining about it is people that thought it was going to always be 63 other people in the maze with them, and I thought that too, but it just isn't feasible to have that many people that like to play Pac-Man, unfortunately, in this day and age, probably at the same time doing that. And unless it's curated, like I said, a tournament situation. So it just makes me assume that that's what it is to get the leaders of all the different divisions, and so I want to be at the top of the division, or at least in the conversation, so that when that happens I can be able to at least represent us in a game where I'm playing against, maybe the point is they want to get 64 people from all the divisions so they can actually just do, run some games where we're all facing each other, and that would be awesome, and I hope to be in that conversation. So that kind of stuff is what I'm manifesting now, and the love and the appreciation, and going back to that, the original stuff, love, appreciation, and thankfulness of being in the position to play this game and enjoy it with you guys. And so I'm bringing it back around to all love and happiness, and that's a circular way during this episode of Still Hungry and Forgot Your Manners, the little overflow of the pack snack, that I'm sorry about, that, and sometimes you have to find a way to transmutate your feelings into something that's going to be more beneficial to you. And obviously we are always about trying to stay as positive as possible, and I'll always only get negative to the super degree when I'm trying to be passionate about what it is, and also just especially when it comes to defending somebody else's passion. In this case, I'd be defending my own, so nobody wants to be called out. And Ray was talking about today, I just don't want it to be a situation where I get made fun of, and about it. I'm too loving and appreciative of the gaming community for that, and I hope that they would be understanding of that. We all get passionate about stuff, most of the time people are just too they're not willing to be vulnerable enough, I guess. See, I don't know. Alright. I've also gotten 150 experience points sometimes, and I don't know what that is about either. So with that being said, we go ahead and on 260 wins. If we go ahead and look through here, the only blight we had on this pack snack was the 3rd place that we got, because I was just super tired and ranty a little bit, and that's okay. I don't have to get 1st place every time. I just have to rank and keep ranking up, and 1st place is the best way to do that. That's why it's a competition, guys, because people are doing this in the leaderboards, and when they play, even if people may not realize that the whole game is supposed to be about playing against only a certain amount of real people and then a certain amount of bots, and then that way it fills the field out, and then on top of that, you know, people are placing in different ranks, which gives them different ratings, and it's a different amount of points. So if you basically were to fail at 30th place, then you may get like a little bit of experience points, like next to nothing, versus if you get 1st place, you get the full 75, and apparently randomly you get 150, and I don't really know what the contingency on that one is. So, but let's look and see where we are in the standings. Hopefully good things. Alright, I think that's pretty much the same. I mean, but I was expecting that because I hate this navigation part here. There we go. So there we go. We move the number up a little bit. We're so close to some of the people that we're competing with, so hopefully before I start my day tomorrow, I can get some ground on that. But if not, then those will be the people that I'm fighting up against to get to the top of the local U.S. Eastern Division. Those are my main competitions, so it's pretty close, I think, and I'm pretty impressed with some of the ground that some of the other people made today, especially on the global scale. Number 1 took it over from number 2 and did a great amount of gains, and actually from the time I looked at it initially, made even more. So he just wanted to put his stamp on it, and he didn't want to just beat him, he wanted to put a lot of pressure on him. So you know, and then if you look, we're on that in that conversation, so we're right there, guys. If I did a couple more games, like literally, I don't know, 1, 2, like 4 more games, I would be 7th. So like I said, I probably will try to see what I can do about that, even if it's even something like half of this just before I go to start my day, so I can at least show that I'm on the splash page of both of them. Would be awesome. Maybe I'll call it like a micro snack, like a, I don't know, fun size snack or something, like where it's just literally like a half an hour where I'm just moving 3 matches or 4 matches to get that. But it won't be right now, guys. And if it is, I'll make sure that it probably will be no commentary. It'll just to move it, and there will be some streams coming up that will be just no commentary and just to move stuff, because I don't want to like oversaturate you guys with my personal feelings about stuff when I get super ranty, because I'm lonely and I'm by here and there's nobody in chat and I'm playing Pac-Man, or because I've given you all the tech there pretty much is to this game now. So at this point I'm be repeating myself, so I'll only be talking about it further when we make videos about it or somebody asks me going forward, so it's kind of cool that this stream itself kind of gave me closure on some things, and it will help me produce this content moving forward for people that are interested in it. I know there's a small niche, but there is a niche nonetheless, and I'm very happy to be able to serve that up in Vid-Bits fashion, which is what it's all about here. So With that being said, it's Brian from the Vid-Bits. I hope that you've enjoyed this little being hungry and forgetting our manners part of the pack snack, and it was moving up our score a little bit in the Eastern U.S. local division and the global division, and as you saw, we're going to end up for this session at 9th globally. So we're the third biggest, our best PlayStation player, and we are the first best PlayStation player locally in the East in the US. So I'm pretty happy with it, and I appreciate you guys spending time with me as we continue to climb it. It's been Brian from the Vid-Bits. See you on the next one. Peace.